Okay, so here are my final notes on from all of my articles, all of those boxes. Here are the categories that I ended up with. And as you can see, most of my information is within the skills and tools or supplies categories. So I'm going to choose to kind of leave out the rest of these categories because in the end, you only have to write 2 formal paragraphs, one for each topic. So I'm going to decide to write a paragraph about skills and a paragraph about tools and supplies. And the skills, I think I'm going to go with first because I feel like I'll be able to explain the information um, fairly easily because I've read all of the articles so far. So I have my sources and I know which information came from which source. But before I start drafting the formal essay, and you'll have this exact document in Google Classroom soon, you're going to go ahead and start your formal paragraph here for now. Don't worry about any of the headings or the titles. Just go ahead, press enter. It's already Times New Roman 12, which is MLA format, and you can go ahead and start writing. Well, before I start explaining some of these ideas, I have to be able to cite them correctly and give proper credit to the authors because these are not my ideas. These are ideas that I found online from other people. So if you go back to the calendar and you look at the research project document, I went back in and I added all of the citations in correct MLA format. So for source number 1, you're going to use the title of the article because there was no author listed on the website. Titles have to have quotations around them. There has to be a comma here and then the quotation mark ending the title here. For source 2, you're actually going to mention the author who was listed in the website. So you would start a sentence by basically copying and pasting according to John Bigar, author of the article Planning a Trek in the Andes, and you go on with your sentence. Basically, I've done all of the work for you in interest of time. So whichever source you're starting with, you have to use this resource page. And if I go back, I'm going to actually move this around because I don't need this one anymore. I'm going to start with a topic sentence that mentions various skills that are necessary. So there are various skills necessary for hiking in the Andes in winter weather. So now I know that this paragraph is going to be about skill sets and behaviors that are necessary to have a successful adventure. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to look to my categories and I'm going to decide which one of these I feel best about explaining. And I'm going to look to see which topics from here can kind of fit together well. So maybe avoiding wind when lighting a fire could work with perhaps planning low temperatures. Snow and ice dropping out from under you could kind of pair with avalanche. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of color code these to see what actually goes together. Studying maps and weather could also be part of the avalanche forecast, which could also take me into navigation. If you're on your own, you get in trouble. Oh, melting the snow to know how to drink it. Getting out of the wind and knowing how to build a fire. So these 2 are about fire, as well as this one is about fire. So I'm kind of sorting my information again in order to be able to write a paragraph that makes sense, that kind of gathers all of the information in a logical order. Easier to walk on frozen snow, melting snow. So I might have one all about snow. So at this point, go ahead and go back to the paragraphs that you think you're going to write about and color code your notes.